I was reading that. It says, dude, honestly, it's $50 triple net. And then I read something where it says 2% increases every year, which, you know, if you add it all up, I really don't want to keep waiting or going back and forth for a week over $3,000. I want the space.
I mean, look, we can take it. I really think if we can wait a day or two, we will get them down. I hear you. I mean, like, we're not going to lose the space. Unfortunately, the song and dance process that we go through, but I promise you, like, we're not going to lose the space, especially over rate.
I mean, can we get an answer? Yeah, I'd love to save the money. I just don't want to keep. I just don't want to be. You know, it kind of irritates me when it's like, oh, well, they're off in the Bahamas and we're still waiting on an answer. Well, you know, I get that. Someone can read. I can read if I was in the Bahamas. I want to get it done. I want to get a lease signed because we still. You have to give the current tenant 60 days to get out, right? Once we sign a lease?
I'll get the specifics, but it's like 30 or 60 days, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 60 days before we can even start construction. That's why I'm like, right. Yeah, this extra $20,000 we'll save in a year is $20,000 I'm losing by not being able to get in my space and get open.
Well, do you want me to call them and say, hey, look, like, let's just cut to the chase, like, send us a lease?
Yeah, honestly, yes. Let's just make it easy, because you know what? I don't want to haggle with them because there's going to be something we're going to ask for later on down the road. And the fact that we came and we're just like, look, what's your price? Okay, cool, we'll take it. We'll have more leverage down the road. So just get a lease to us today. Let's get it signed. That way you can get them out, get the other tenant out, and we can get started. Because I need to set up. Actually, I need to be set up tomorrow. Our designer's coming in town. Can we get an hour in the space?
Yeah. What time?
11.
Okay, I'll call him right now.
Yes, get us a lease. We'll take it as it is. I want to get in and get the ball rolling. And when does it start the 60-day process for them to vacate? Once we actually sign the lease?
Typically once we sign, correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Where's your car at, Darby?
Okay.
How was y'all's flight back?
Fine.
You got delayed.
It wasn't fine. There was a baby crying the whole time.
Oh, I had headphones on.
We got on the plane, and then as soon as we all got on the plane, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's bad weather in Dallas, so y'all are just gonna be sitting here for an hour and a half. I mean, other than sitting on an extra hour and a half and 2 screaming kids.
Oh.
Other than that, it's a great flight.
Terrible. Those kids were just pounding on the back of this poor lady's seat.
Oh gosh.
And screaming.
That was kind of irritating because the
They have no
parents were
control.
they were watching a movie.
The baby I was ready to catch that baby because it almost fell off the mom's lap like something, and she had no reaction. The baby was like,
I was like,
I was like, oh shit.
I was like getting
Did you
upset.
finally get a window?
We had the big plane.
I
tried to
picked a
get
window
first
seat,
class.
but I had no window. It was just a
Yeah.
wall.
That happened to
And
me
it was
last
like,
time.
and it was like the part where it concave,
Oh,
so
God.
on my head just like kind of cringed.
I got
down
the
whole time.
only normal seat in the plane on the way to Miami that did not have a window. There was like window here, window there, gap. And I was like, okay, but that doesn't make any sense.
Thank you, sir. Hey, are they there?
You guys sit in the back. You want to sit? No, okay. You want to sit?
Make him ride in the back of his car, are
I
you?
thought for filming purpose.
Sit back in the back and talk to Clove.
What's up?
Sit back in the back and talk to Clove.
All right, so what are we doing today?
We're meeting Nishu. He's our designer. He's headed over here to the new store. We're supposed to get a proposal back on the lease today. We've been talking to Travis. I think we're right there. I told them to just take it, and they still want to negotiate a little bit more down. So that lease should be coming in. We're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling on the design process. So Nishu's meeting us over here to walk the space, look at it, and just kind of get a sense of where our heads are at, what we're seeing for the space. And they just want to see the space. So.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
This is Clove.
Nice to meet you. I'm Katie.
Katie, Marco.
Hi, Katie. I'm Chloe. You met Josh before.
Yes. Hey, Katie. Anthony. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, brother.
So we want to put a second floor back here, like coming
Sure.
out, right? We're not sure obviously how far it'll come out, but
Hold on, we should probably involve the PM over there. So I'm high level, they're project management, and then
Okay.
we'll have another design team underneath that.
Right.
Right? So everything will feather down. Any request you have, I'm the agency lead. They're project management, so they'll get all the fine details with you, colors, layout, things like
Gotcha.
that. Josh will be working on floor plans, she'll be working on finishes very likely.
Great.
And then all the major requests like, hey, we want to work room for beyond or ever
A tourbillon, yeah.
will come through me. Josh, they want to put in a second story, a deck.
A deck, right? But here's the cool part. So it's going to have a deck that comes out, and then there's going to be a fish tank that runs all the way to the top. Cylinder tank.
What I miss?
The fish tank.
The fish tank.
Oh, we're doing the fish tank.
No, I'm telling him like my idea with the second floor and the fish tank backing into it.
Oh, yeah.
So that when you go upstairs, you actually have the fish tank. And
Did
the
you talk
second
about the
floor.
And
floating?
you're looking at it, and the fish are going up and down.
Yeah.
Tell them about the
Copy that.
floating.
Yeah.
The second floor would go out to here. This column would act as up there is where this is going to be, all that above here will be second floor
Sure.
floating.
Yeah.
But then say maybe like right here is where you build the fish tank, and it's halfway. So half of the fish tank is on this side of that split, half is on that. It goes all the way up to the ceiling. So then you build the second deck to come up to where half the fish tank is sticking out. The staircase I saw going right here. So if you imagine this whole
We'll do that
wall's
on my
not right here.
personal
See, this is all going to be elevated. I imagined this,
You guys ever do
all L, this
residential?
would be lounge.
Wouldn't you want to put
You gotta have a-
YouTube studio in the elevated kind of front corner? I imagine the backdrops would be right here. And then for all of your backlighting, for all of your front lighting, you'd actually have a grid.
But the point
right?
of the point of the YouTube studio being in the store is so people in the store can watch. If the YouTube studio is right here, facing this way,
No, so the good thing is, if I was filming you this way,
yeah.
you I would expose for outside, and then you compensate with lighting.
And you can make that work. Okay. Because you want the YouTube studio
And we
facing
could also do
people.
curtains if we needed to.
And you could also do a YouTube studio with a backdrop right here. You could have a backdrop.
Actually,
on
right
the set.
here,
I mean, like,
I imagined getting rid of, like, pretend this wall's not here. Everything's going to be open up. That wall's not going to be there. All of this is a lounge area. So that's primarily the sales floor. Up here's the lounge. Once a customer comes in and they're with a salesperson, they come up the stairs and come up here and they sit in one of like 4 multiple lounges where they can deal with their client. But at the same time, you're still overlooking the whole store. Your staircase would do something cool like start like right here, down there, and kind of wrap up and around where it's all glass. So I don't know, it adds like a,
yeah. Element.
so that would go up to the upstairs, but down there would be bar, coffee bar, another seating area for people that haven't been helped yet. This is going to be for people that are with the salesperson, they're actually doing a deal. Now I like the idea of somehow up here incorporating the
imagine
YouTube
if
studio.
You're walking by. So one thing that's very impressive when you're walking by is
You can
lighting
see it,
rigs.
yeah.
The lighting rigs. So you imagine having poles drop down, and I mean, like, I'm not talking about something that you do, like, you know, homemade or whatever you know people have done by
Yeah.
themselves. But I'm like an actual proper drop down lighting rig. And you have all those lights on in a studio facility. People walking by will see that and turn, what the hell is going on in there?
When you design this, imagine you design a YouTube studio right here, and it could have 2 different sets for us to do Marco's coffee style shop and then our actual, whatever's going to become, you know, like Roman's.
Yeah.
That's his set. Then we have like a collector corner. This is where Marco and I do our thing. This is where either one of us do an individual setup.
Yeah.
But on this side, it needs to, what would be cool is if it's transitional. During the day when we're not filming, you've got 4 lounges that customers come in, they sit with their salespeople, you do deals all day long. Somehow you can transition it to where when we know it's filming time, people that came in just to watch us film can sit all out here and watch us live. That'd be really cool. And be comfortable still. That's how you turn it into interacting with your actual audience. We're being filmed, yes, but our audience it's Q&A. But the cool thing too is you light it all up at night. Well, like you said, when people drive by or they're walking by, they can see it.
People are gonna love that.
And they can see when we're filming. They're all gonna want to know like what is going on when they're walking by. So
We can
I
also
love,
post something outside where a TV is like showing
I
outside.
like this because
That'd
you
be
could just
cool.
lock
Yeah.
that door and you could simply have a sign that says use the adjacent door.
No, we're
Let
actually,
people-
so we're thinking about getting rid of that door
Oh, even better.
for safety.
Even better.
Getting rid of that door and building
Dead man
a
door.
dead man door right here, but open it in this way. So you have to actually walk in the hotel and come through the dead man door to get in.
Do we know how strong this glass is?
Not strong enough.
So where are the lounges?
Up
So
here.
you have pods,
What?
lounge pods, with kind of a YouTube setup for the background filming.
Like, let's just hypothetically say you've got a lounge there, a lounge here, a lounge there, and a lounge there.
Sure.
Each of them need to be wired for video and audio so that he can be sitting up there from one master control.
We'll have ENC, Cat5, all that will be run into a control room, and he'll just be able to simply patch it whenever he wants. He'll work with Josh on all wiring needs. Within a store, you walk in, you need to have organization, right? So you go into Avi's, right? You see all the Royal Oaks, right? On one cluster, right?
I like
you go
that.
over, you see Patek. So I'd love, and this will all be in the discovery, but to work with you, say, all right, this is your current set of inventory. Obviously, I like watches, so I'll be able to say, this is how I would cluster it, right? Bring some organization to it, show that to you, and then you guys will say, okay, well, starting from this, you know, yes, that works, or no, it doesn't. Starting from there, then what we'll move into is, all right, well, in a year, this inventory is going to grow to this, and this is how we want to organize it. And just making sure that those sections work well to each other, the current plan and the next plan.
It'd be cool to kind of have for people, like a history, almost like a little museum.
Timeline.
Everything behind glass, but it starts from wherever, just, you know, right here, starts with the Rolex, Patek, AP, Richard Mille, and goes through brand by brand, and we can go, and it can have, it could be digital, it could be part digital, it could be part all, I imagine all the memorabilia we can find.
Sure.
Books, boxes, like something to where someone that has absolutely zero watch knowledge at all, could start right here, spend an hour walking through, reading, punching little
So you know
videos.
what you should do? You should have brands on one side,
Yeah.
and you should have complications on the other. Because that's the two main things
Yeah,
that people that are
it's
new to
pretty good.
watches need to understand.
Yeah.
They need to understand what type
That'd
of
be
brands there
cool.
are, and
That's
then like
awesome.
chronograph, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Annual, perpetual.
Can we
et
build
cetera.
little working models of all the
We're not
complications?
building working models.
Not the big ones. You have a little bitty
No, I
tourbillon
get
on
what you're
display
saying. That
that's
would be-
rotating.
Well,
It
that's
would be-
something we'd have to buy like through MBNF and stuff like that.
It would
Like,
be
they sell that.
Yeah. Well, I understand where you're going. I think starting digital is an easier lift
Yeah,
at
that's fine.
first,
Okay.
right?
So somehow maybe you here's how you kill a bunch of the dead space, but it's also open to where if and when the time ever gets bigger that we need more inventory space, maybe you build a walkthrough that's got, like you said, brands on one side, come around, walk all the way around it.
Sure.
And it's like, it starts with the brands, very basic, goes
Yeah.
all the way around and ends with complications.
I'm not a designer, right? I'm
Me
the
neither.
agency lead. She's closest to the designer out of all of us, but we have a whole design team. So
Yeah.
what we're doing is gathering all of your wants. We'll work with you on spatial construction, and then we have a whole team that'll solve and marry all of this, right? But the most important thing to understand right now is like your vision from like a 10,000 foot, you know what I mean, distance, right? And understanding how we're going to break this space up, and like what, because there's so many ways to skin the cat, right?
Right.
And we want to make yours different. And I think having an educational section where somebody that doesn't know about watches can immediately understand about the brands that they may or may not want to buy and the complications that they may not want to buy, may or may not want to buy, that'll instantly kind of connect them, right?
Right.
And then we can have displays or whatever in the center, and it's starting to really make sense. And then based on, you know, what people are hanging around, like, oh, this kid's in front of the Rolex display, you'll get an automatic cue of like what they're interested in, right?
Yeah, that's pretty
You
good.
could even line it up if you're starting, let's just say this is your brands, you start with obviously Rolex.
Yeah.
This whole section's Rolex, well guess what? If you put center cases here, Rolex.
Now, see,
Next
this
goes
is
to
actually-
AP, then APs are all right here.
That would actually make a lot of sense, right? That would bring, so that's the way my mind works. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of organization.
Everything's in line.
It tells a story,
Yeah.
it connects people to the buyers, and it makes that experience kind of frictionless. So again, who should I reach out to for your current inventory?
Get Mike.
Cool.
You'll get in touch with Mike faster. Are you upstairs at the office or are you at lunch?
No, I'm upstairs.
Do you know where any of those stands are for the watches for photography? They should be up there in like the light box, right?
It's not. Just looked in there first thing. I can find out.
Oh, here, do
Trent would
this.
know where they are.
Oh,
I'll
is
find out.
that yours?
No, I'll
Okay.
look around in the closet. You need them?
Yeah, I need one. I just need the stand part. Actually, I need one whole set, yes.
One whole set? All right. I'll find out. I'll bring it down.
Okay.
I spoke to he's fine with 16,000. So.
Okay, cool. We'll mark that sold. I'll get it boxed up so they can package it today. It's gonna go out today, and then we're gonna wire for that and the AP balance tomorrow. All right, thanks.
Sorry, Mike.
when you did your transition
Yeah.
to like a wrist shot.
Okay.
Do a slow wrist shot about like that, and then transition to a scene of you like kind of wearing it, showing a woman what it's
Okay.
going to look like when she wears it.
Okay.
I like the one you did the other day in the mirror, because you can
yeah.
see it's like you can see you, but you see the watch twice. I thought that looked cool.
Okay, cool.
Hello.
Hey, Alex, it's Marco.
Hey, man. I don't know. I'm a little bit at a loss. I'm a watch person, but there's a lot to know about these vintage watches, and I know you're an expert in the area. Is it as much as you can tell? Is it all original and put together correctly?
So I actually my expertise is in vintage watches, so that's like where I've like placed most of my efforts in learning vintage.
Right.
And that's like the one thing that I would say is my biggest contribution is like my eye for detail on these watches, as far as like differentiating them between the fakes and the reals. No, but both Newmans that I have available are 100% original. I can tell you the black dial is like in phenomenal condition. The dial is just like museum quality, I would say that. The white one is very, very, very nice. It's very clean. However, the lume plots on it have been removed, essentially. They're just kind of like degraded to the point where I guess somebody down the road took them off. I guess they must have looked ugly or something. But there's still some fragments left of it. So the black light still reacts to it, so it still shows that they were there. Does that make sense?
It does.
For the money, I would argue the black is far better.
Why the same price on the black versus the white?
Well, they're not the same per se, but white has obviously like a bigger demand in the market. Black is kind of like the second, but being that the condition on the black is so high and the condition on the white is, I would say, medium to high. I mean, if it had perfect plots, that watch would be like $350, it would be much more. So you're saving money on that watch because of the lume issue, and then you're paying a lot more for the black because of the condition.
Yeah, because of the condition.
So they kind of offset each other, if that makes sense.
No, it does, because the white is what's the market demands.
Well, yeah, and it's the reason I think people like the white the most is because everybody has that green Rolex book with the Paul Newman on the cover. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, sure.
So
Absolutely.
everybody wants to pull out that watch. When they buy her, has a Newman, and they're like, oh yeah, look what I have, and then they surprise their friends, family, or whatever with that watch, and it's on the cover of that book on the coffee table. So it's like, oh, it's a big wow factor. But the black, in my opinion, looks aesthetically far more pleasing, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree from the pictures. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's just stunning in person.
I guess the question is,
yes,
we could find a white dial that was in higher condition.
I could find you one.
I'm not opposed to that. Or what kind of price would you make me on the white dial?
That's best. So the white one doesn't belong to me.
Okay.
I am brokering that one. The black one I do have on hand. The white one I had on hand. I've returned it to the owner, but he still has it. He'd like me to continue to try selling it.
Try to sell it?
Yes. So, but I could find you another one, and whatever I find it for, let's just have my fee on top of it. So if we find one cheaper and better condition, great, but likely won't. I mean, these things really only go through auction houses. You know what I mean? And these watches with auction house pricing is just insane. So I try to find these off market to the best of my ability. So when if you ever do buy one from an auction, for example, you're not paying. So let's say it sold for $320 hammer price, you're still paying the house like 18% on top of that $320. So and taxes. They don't disclose all that stuff on the final price.
Okay.
So it gets ridiculously expensive at the end of the day. So yeah, I can definitely find you one. If not, if you're happy with the white one, I can be more than happy to show it to you. It's like I said, the only issue is the lume, and I know some collectors, care, some don't. I mean, they're mostly looking at the dial. The dial on the white one is really, really, really clean. There's really no issues with it. But again, that lume, I'm gonna have to disclose that with you. So.
No, I appreciate you being up front. Thank you.
Sure, of course.
I am a conditioned person, but I am drawn to the white dial personally a little bit more than the black.
Gotcha.
Nothing wrong with the black dial. The picture looks great.
No.
I agree with you. The aesthetic is wonderful, but for some reason I'm liking the white a little bit more.
I'm happy to help you find the white one and see what pricing I can find, and I can get back to you here shortly and let you know.
All right. Well, sounds good. I really appreciate it. Thank you for getting back to me so quickly.
Absolutely.
All right. Be well, sir.
You too. Thank you.
So I'm getting all the wires queued up right now.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll call them and verify it. Hey, What's this check for? 11,907.
The guy who just came and bought a watch this morning.
Did we release the watch?
Yeah.
Why are we releasing watch? We
Not
don't
on a
release
cashier
watches the same
check.
day. Do
Not
what?
on a cashier check.
Dude,
Who did that?
I think it was a Dylan sale. I think.
Dylan should know
is
better.
he a prior customer?
No, new customer.
Do you know this check's real?
No clue.
That's.
I wasn't in the shop.
Oh my God. Yeah, that. Come on, Dylan should know better. That
Yeah,
one.
we don't release watches with
Not on a
checks.
cashier check.
Not until we
Dude.
cash it. No.
Not until
No.
it clears our bank.
Well, cashier check clear.
No, like,
No,
like
fake.
it's a
The
fake
check.
check.
Unless it's a
Cashier checks are the most fake thing in the world, dude. You can't. That's the one thing you don't release watches on. What?
This was the guy who was trying to pay via Venmo and couldn't. Said he'd be right back.
Sure, but
Listen, I'm sure it's okay.
I'm sure it's okay, but
For
if someone finds out that we're just releasing watches with checks, guess what?
Yeah.
The very next day, you're going to get a fake check in here. That's how we got scammed the very first time, was a fake cashier's check.
Really?
I even deposited it.
And it
deposited that day and it cleared. And it got reversed the next day.
When was this?
A year and a half
2
ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
This is right around when him and I met.
Yeah, because you don't know that this...
If it's a real
Look,
one.
look take
It'll be
this.
real.
You have
It's
access
just-
to our bank. You could initiate a cashier's check from us, and it goes through, and it's a real check, but it's stolen money. It takes me a day to realize that there's money out of it. It's going to be tomorrow morning before I look at the
hope we
account.
got a
I
driver.
realize you just stole money out of the account. I call my bank and report it. Then that money gets reversed.
I hope
But
we
that
have a
watch is
driver
still
license.
gone. Did we get a driver's license?
We did get a driver's
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We have that.
we should cash it ASAP then.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the bank right now. I got to go move some money around. Hey.
What's up?
You know we don't release watches the same day a check comes in, right? What music are y'all listening to?
Who did I release a watch to?
Yeah, they go out partying on their
Just
lunch break.
black-
You hear that? They go
Hey, where
clubbing.
are y'all? Y'all sound like you're at a club.
We're at Moxie.
Oh, okay. The date just the
black Datejust that Alfred just sold.
the black stick fluted bezel, yeah.
Yes, that we got a cashier's check for.
Yes, Dylan. Cashier's checks can be faked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm sure it's okay. We've got his driver's license and all that, but from now on, no watch leaves the same day a check comes in. Unless you physically go to the bank with them and they hand you a check, then the watches don't leave the same day.
Yeah, assume the
Sounds
worst.
good. That was Alfred's deal. I didn't oversee that deal, but I'll make sure that we
Make sure
we
tell.
know that right now.
Are they all with you right now?
Yes, I will tell them right now.
Let them all know watches don't leave same day.
Sounds good. No problem. I'll let them know right now.
Thank you.
Curious about Daytonas and the ability.
We're talking like the newer ones, correct? So they're not too hard to find at the great market prices. Obviously, very, very, very difficult to find at retail. It's more of a relationship piece. I'm sure you're aware.
I haven't even tried.
Oh, well, yeah. If you ever walk into an AD right now, they would make you buy hundreds of thousands of dollars so they even talk to you about the possibility of buying that watch.
After they laughed at you.
Yeah.
After
First,
they'll make funny.
First, they would go to the back and have a nice laugh,
Yeah.
and then come out and tell you you're never getting one.
Yeah. So I mean, we do have them. We do have them available, black and white,
Okay.
both brand new.
And those are stainless?
They're stainless steel, yes.
Okay.
So the black ceramic and the white ceramic. The black ceramic right now is going for 32,
Okay.
and the white's around 38 to 38.5. Let me pull it out for you.
And then what happens when you go from that to like white to the white gold?
They get cheaper.
Really?
He's not lying, actually. Shit. As funny as that is, he's not lying.
In certain cases, they get cheaper. Yeah. So.
not just no.
Well, okay, I'm being a little funny, but there's some truth to that. But no, so like a white gold one's not much, you know. So
It's a trick, right?
I wish it was a trick. So the white gold brand new they're in the neighborhood of 45,000.
Yeah.
40. So it's not even much more. You're talking $6-7 grand, and you're into a precious metal Daytona. And then obviously like yellow gold, they're in the 40s. But then it gets crazy when you start talking platinums. Yeah, then you start looking at the hundreds. 110 to 150.
Got it. So then it makes sense to probably be more demand here at this.
This is far more demand. These have been moving up in price steadily for the last since they came out in 2016. When they first dropped, they were trading at like 17,000. Then now they're at 38 for white, 32 for black.
So that's of interest. And then,
These color dials.
yeah, there's a, like almost like a Tiffany blue.
I don't have the Tiffany blue in 41. I can get you one in a 36.
Mike's wearing his.
Was he selling it?
He's not selling it. You have one?
No.
Just kidding.
Ask and you shall
Hold on.
receive.
I got. Oh, let me pull out a special.
Yeah, you got the special case.
Yeah, here we go. There's one underneath my showcase.
Okay. About the same, right? This is a 41. This is probably.
That's a 40. Yeah, but you have way more dial presence on this watch.
Yeah.
Because you have a bezel to accommodate for on this watch. Yeah.
And what are these guys doing in the market?
These are 16.5.
16.5. And so where are they retail?
I don't want to tell you. It's like $7,000. it's silly.
Hey,
Now, do you
It's
get
like
laughed at?
7,600.
Hey, Marco.
Can we
Yes.
get laughed at when you get
Marco,
those?
can we pause for 2 seconds while I confirm all these wires?
Yes.
Hang on. We got 36,380, 10,000, 19,995, 43,000, and 32,300.
Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on hold.
Yes.
And you said the other 2 were
It says awaiting IMAD.
awaiting IMAD, so
But
they didn't go on hold, so they're good. I
They're
can
good?
just shoot them out the door.
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.
And then one other one that I was curious, and I don't see it here, and maybe that's because it's not very popular, but the Wimbledon.
So, no, that's extremely popular.
Okay.
We cannot hold those down. Every time we get one, they sell for around 14.5. They sell very, very fast.
Decent watch.
Very, yeah, it's beautiful. They make it in a 36 and a 41, so it's really up to you. But the 36 is a little cheaper, and the 41s are like the most sought after. Jubilee, white gold, Wimbledon is the ones that are bringing around 14.5. You can save a bunch of money if you switch to smooth bezel oyster band or smooth or white gold oyster. You can. Depends on your
So,
preference.
Yeah, I would.
If you like this band better, it's a little cheaper.
Okay. Well, let me kick a few of these things around.
I'm posting the first watch,
Okay.
Black Daytona, in the group
Okay.
for cost.
That's fine. We have 3 of them.
That's a good looking watch.
30,000.
Let it go.
Sells for 32 to 33 right now, maybe 34.
What's the difference between what I
Nothing. They're the same. He's selling it because we have
we have a private Facebook group. We're doing a raise to build our new building, so we're selling spots to it.
So those investors get a discount, if you will. On,
They get a discount. They get opportunity to be in a group, which has many benefits. We do appraisals in there. We do market checks in there. We do. It's very interactive. So if somebody needed something, we give them like special attention.
so you guys are
Breaking Bad.
building a place.
No, we're not building a place. It's already built. We're outfitting
Going
it.
inside. Yeah, got it.
Rather than finance the build, we offered. The idea was to get our following, we've got a fan base, a social media following. We also have a client list. People love what we do.
Sure.
They want to be a part of it. We're not asking for donations.
No, it's
We're
kinda
selling
like,
we're selling VIP membership. Like you would buy membership to a gym, like you'd buy membership to a club that most people never use anyway.
Yeah.
We're just giving them the access. You get that, you get access to buy inventory at a cheaper price. You're gonna buy the watch anyway. Why
It's
not?
essentially a wholesale group.
Yeah,
makes
they are now our wholesale outlet rather than sell it to other dealers that are going to end up selling it to you at retail.
What's the buy-in on for you guys?
2,000.
2,000.
Yeah, it's a lifetime membership to a club, basically a wholesale club. We already pay, like in some groups that we're in, wholesale groups that we hardly ever use, we pay $1,000 a year
Just to be in.
just to be in them,
source,
to source watches when we need them. But we hardly ever use them now because of our social media presence. We can just find them. But a lot of dealers rely on those groups to find inventory. So we're trying to replicate that in a more personal way to our clientele.
How do I get a little information on that?
Are you on Facebook?
What's your
See,
email? Are you
it wouldn't-
not on Facebook?
It wouldn't benefit you at all if you're not on Facebook. Primarily where we're going to be, we're also going to probably run a WhatsApp group eventually and get all that figured out. But right now it's primarily Facebook. So if you're not on Facebook, it'd just be more like a contribution.
Nice. Well, good luck with that, guys.
Yeah.
Sounds cool. All right, well, I'll get out of your hair. I appreciate you letting me take a little time.
Absolutely. Thank you for stopping by,
okay.
Mark.
Yeah, nice to meet you. And then
Yeah.
I'll reach back out. My goal is not to sell this. I'd like to add to the collection. So price point, probably makes more sense to go maybe after something like a Wimbledon and then make my way up to a
Yeah, of course.
Daytona or something like that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
See you. Nice
Thanks
to meet
for
you guys.
coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Great watches, by the way.
Thank you.
sir. All right, wires are out.
Have y'all been reading the comments on the latest video?
A few of
A
them.
few of them. They're interesting. Some are very uneducated, but
Yeah, apparently I'm not dressing appropriately, but guess what? I don't care.
well, you know, for every one negative comment, there's 100 positives. So
That's
I'm not
true.
gonna let it bother
There
me.
is one that says you guys should put me in the introduction
Think about it.
to RV.
You have to put in your time, just like Trent and Alfred and Vic and the investor
Okay.
I'm not in that either.
and Darby. Darby, why aren't you in that?
That's a good point. You need to be in it.
You know what we need to do? We need to shorten it. Well, I guess you can't because of that song, can you?
It'll be lengthened if we're adding people.
Is there a new song that's quicker to the punch?
We should change the song every quarter.
No, because remember how cool it was when we were sitting at
Oh, yeah.
Baccarat the other day? So we were sitting at a coffee shop, and I kind of saw these guys over. They kept looking at us. I thought it looked weird, and then all of a sudden you hear, that.
Yes.
And Darby's head goes,
All of
someone's
it.
playing our song. And we look over, these guys start laughing. We're
We
like,
should have just
hey.
immediately got up, started dancing. Yeah, we just got a pop-up group. There's a
Okay,
flash
you can
mob.
show that out there.
Flash mob.
Flash mob?
It's my favorite groupie.
Marco, there's one comment.
Can you imagine if...
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
just was laughing at Marco drunk at the end. You weren't. I know
You weren't
that's
drunk?
what
You
I
didn't even
said.
drink?
We didn't drink
I
that
did.
whole trip.
I did?
And then the last night, Roman, he's like, no, I'm not drinking. No, I'm not drinking. They're like, come on, it's really good stuff. He's like, okay. They pour him a glass of tequila. He takes a tiny little sip, sits it down, turns back, and then does this. He's like,
I did it on purpose.
no, you didn't.
I didn't like the
No, you
taste.
didn't.
And I wanted to
You
like
can't
act
not like the taste of that. That stuff looked good.
Could y'all imagine how funny it'd be if y'all switch roles?
Freaky Friday.
Gosh. That would actually be funny.
Oh my
We
god.
just need to get Marco in one of those fake like muscle suits.
Don't
T-shirts
say
that have
that.
like, you can get one of the T-shirts
Cut
that
that
have
out,
like the
Darby.
beach. I have an idea.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Whoa. Okay, go ahead.
I have an idea. Let's switch roles right now. I've got something for you.
How?
You trust me?
Oh,
It's not going to
God.
cost
Every
you any money.
time
It's
you
not
say-
going to cost you any money.
Every
I
time you
promise.
say,
Do
"Oh,
you
you
trust
trust me,"
me?
It's not going to cost you any money.
It's either
Here,
several
watch.
hundreds of thousands of dollars later, or
It's not.
It's something goofy as hell that's gonna make me cringe.
This is going to make you cringe,
Ah,
but it's something I would do. Here, trade me spots.
I guess you have to teach me how to start your Jeep.
Okay. I was going to do this, but I'm going to let you do it.
What is this? I don't.
Open it up. I'm going to stand over here with Dylan and watch you.
Did you get me something? Is this a gift?
It's something you get to do with it.
Okay, it's just a Daytona.
What's
Oh my
special about
god. Full tape.
it? Rip them off.
What? Whose watch
Come
is
on.
this?
We bought it.
We bought it, and you want me to rip the stickers off?
It's good content.
Dude, no way.
Do it.
I'm out. I'm out.
You have to. We're switching roles. Just try. It's really invigorating.
Oh my god.
You've never
You
ripped
know
the stickers
what?
off of a watch.
Oh my. Just because it's YouTube, and I'll do it. This is gonna be very, every sticker.
All of them. But no matter how many you rip off, you're gonna miss one.
Bet.
If you find
Bet.
them like
Okay,
a
fine.
month later.
Let's make a bet right now since
I'm
you
not
said
making
that.
a bet because when you're cognizant, what's the word?
Cognizant.
You got to
When you're
deepen that one.
cognizant, when you're cognizant of it, you won't miss one because you know how many there are.
We should have it like in the video where it's like, "Hey investor," like instead of Alexa, it's investor. Hey investor, what's the weather outside?
You're always here. Every time we're filming, you're sitting right
And
there.
then it's like 79 degrees, partly cloudy with a 10% chance of rain.
Okay, rip. We actually Can we add the investor to the intro?
Yeah, it's like a black shadow. All
But
right.
in the meantime, Marco, rip those off.
Oh my god. Okay, this is my favorite modern watch. It's ceramic black Daytona.
So there, you're gonna appreciate this.
So is it a gift? If it is, I'll do it right now. Okay, there's the first one. One small peel for man, one big peel for Anthony's kind. This is awful.
No, it's not.
This is I hate this. It just doesn't stop.
Quit babying it.
What do you mean?
Rip them off.
Dude, let me work. Get out of here.
How far in are you? Oh, you get halfway. I'm gonna start packing up. I've got to get to the bank.
That's a big one. Okay.
How you feel?
I'm disgusted with myself. I feel like if somebody would really help
Hey,
me
whatever
right now,
happened-
just indulge in an ice cream lava cake.
Whatever happens to flipper till you die?
I am a flipper till I die. Why do you think I feel this way? Before you leave, that's the last thing you got to do is check my work.
Not bad. I win.
There's nothing on there. Where was that?
Right here on the lug. Stupid.
Should have bet.
Hey, hang on. Not done.
Where is it?
See, I told you right there in the lugs. You always miss one, no matter what.
Well, you should have took a bet.
The rest of it was pretty good. So you're staying across the street?
Yes, sir.
So what brought you in here? How'd you find us?
The car outside. I was asking the concierge over there about where I could find, I guess, you guys, but not. I wasn't aware of y'all yet. I come outside to smoke a cigarette, see the car.
Nice.
That's all she wrote.
Perfect.
See, the car works.
The car, yeah.
So what kind of watches are you into?
Datejust.
Datejust 41s.
They're all over the place.
I think we're out. We have one. Just sold
See, I
one.
like the other links.
Oh, the Jubilee.
Jubilee, yeah.
Do we have any over there or up front?
I definitely want to buy three.
Oh, here's one.
Okay.
What are you wearing now?
Trash. Honestly, just traveling watch.
But that's a 36. You're wearing the size of that. You're not gonna like a 36.
This is a little big. No?
There's a 41.
Yeah,
It's
two-tone. Do you
and
like?
that's a 41.
Do you
just
like
to get
chocolate?
the size of it. It may not be the
Here, let's
bracelet,
just
but
try
just
this.
to try
Try
the
both of
size
these
on
on
it.
for size.
I see what you're saying.
It's a little small, huh?
The problem with that watch
Here you
is it's too big and it bangs me up right here. I'm becoming scarred.
Try this one.
About 41, yeah.
And ignore the dial. Dials, you can get any different kind of dial.
How do you like that?
Love the way it catches the light.
And those pair up with suits like so well.
See this one. I do like chocolate.
Do you wear jewelry other than a watch?
Sometimes bracelets.
You have rose gold glasses on.
Yeah.
You have rose gold sunglasses
With
on.
chocolate,
so-
with
with chocolate lenses. Yeah. That's a perfect compliment to that watch.
What does this run?
14.5 on that. Datejust 41. Jubilee bracelet, smooth, rose gold bezel, chocolate stick dial.
Which that blue one you just saw is not cheap, not much cheaper. It's like 13.5.
I'd be more into this, to be honest with you. Just because everything he just said was spot on. Do y'all have, or can you point me in the right direction of financing? I'm a 780.
Eventually, we're going to be getting Synchrony. We don't have it set up yet, but when we do, we can offer financing. Right now, we don't have a way.
Your best bet, anyone that can get
Credit
financing
card.
approved for a watch, Synchrony, Affirm, all those companies, the best rate I've ever seen with perfect credit's like 10%. Go get yourself a 0-interest credit card for 12 months, pay it off in 12 months. Or run the balance on it and in 12 months transfer it to another credit card. A credit card is the best way to go if you're going to finance it.
What are you wearing there? What is that?
Some ridiculousness.
It's
MBNF.
MBNF perpetual calendar. It's called the Legacy Machine.
Pretty
What
cool.
do those things run?
Retail is just over 200,000.
Cheap.
It's
Pretty nuts. Let me see something.
It's
on your
something you
watch.
buy, like when you get into, I've got a bunch of hype pieces already. This is more true horology. Like this is getting down. It's an independent brand. It's like it's easy to go out and spend money on a Daytona or a Presidential or a Patek or something that everybody already knows what it is. But to go out and get something like that, that shows you really have a passion for horology. Try to look at that dial and look away. That
Even looking at the side
captivates
of
your
it.
eyes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Where's my, I've never looked.
I mean, you can't just look at that dial and go on about your day.
There's so
You
much
have to
going on.
sit there and look at it and tear it apart with your eyes.
Same thing in my room up there. It carried me everywhere.